It was a tranquil evening in our quiet Pinewood suburb when a sharp knock at the door turned our lives upside down. My wife, Sarah, and I never saw it coming. She'd always been a discreet figure in our cul-de-sac of manicured lawns and friendly waves, staying out of the spotlight. But one day, two men claiming to be HOA officials showed up with fake badges and uniforms, accusing her of a ridiculous bylaw violation. They had no clue who they were dealing with, a hidden identity that would soon unravel their scheme when her CIA team swooped in. Our story takes place in Willow Creek, a suburban neighborhood just outside Boulder, Colorado. It was the kind of place where the biggest scandal was someone neglecting their lawn. Holiday potlucks and calm block parties defined the community. I'd always been grateful for its simplicity. My wife Sarah, or just Estim, would laugh and say that if the neighbors knew what she really did, they'd choke on their coffee. She was a CIA analyst specializing in data breaches, but her cover was a tech consultant in Longmont, a perfect, mundane excuse for her frequent trips. That summer afternoon, I opened the door to two men in Navy uniforms with badges labeled HOA enforcement. Willow Creek had no such unit, just a volunteer HOA board and a management company with no arrest powers. The men, introducing themselves as Officers Bennett and Officer Clark, held clipboards with a Willow Creek logo and demanded to speak with Sarah. She was in the kitchen, baking a pie for our elderly neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, flour dusting her apron. There's been a serious rule violation, they barked, accusing her of installing unauthorized surveillance equipment in the neighborhood. I tried to stay calm. There's no HOA security force here. Who sent you? Their eyes flicked around, scanning our home. Sarah stepped into the hall, one eyebrow raised. I recognized her steady look, her CIA training taking over. Gentlemen, you're mistaken, she said coolly. Let's discuss this outside. They sneered. We're taking you into custody, pushing her toward the door and grabbing her wrists. I was livid, watching my wife treated like a criminal, but Sarah stayed eerily composite, no resistance, no fear. Neighbors gathered, whispers spreading like wildfire. The men yelled at them to back off, flaunting their fake authority. They marched Sarah to a black SUV with a poorly made Willow Creek HOA enforcement sign, the phone number one digit off from the real HOAs. This is kidnapping, I shouted. You have no authority. They ignored me, their stance growing aggressive. My phone rung an unknown number. A voice said, Mr. Carter, this is Laura Hayes with the CIA's Rapid Response Unit. Don't worry. Laura was Sarah's boss. Sarah had triggered an emergency protocol. We're tracking your location, Laura said. Stall them. Agents are en route. The SUV's engine revved. I leapt in front of it, arms outstretched, risking everything. Bennett slammed the brakes, stopping inches from me. Clark yelled, You're interfering with HOA business. Neighbors crowded closer, phones out. A teen, Ethan, live-streamed the scene, enraging the men. Clark's hand hovered over a cheap-looking gun on his belt. I braced for the worst. Sirens blare, not local police, but federal vehicles. Two black SUVs with government plates screeched to a halt. Four agents emerged, led by a tall woman with silver hair, Laura Hayes, a CIA legend Sarah had once shown me in a photo. She signaled us to step back, her team surrounding the fake SUV, weapons drawn but steady. Bennett and Clark panicked, their bluff crumbling. Sarah, still zip-tied in the back, gave Laura a faint smile. Clark tried to bolt, but was tackled. Bennett froze. Laura ordered, You're under arrest by order of the U.S. government. They were cuffed and pulled from the vehicle. It was like a scene from a spy thriller. Sarah, freed, faced them. Who do you work for? She asked. They stammered, their confidence shattered. Laura pulled me aside. Your wife's been tracking con artists posing as local officials. We didn't expect a kidnapping in broad daylight. These men were part of a larger scheme, possibly not even from Colorado. I remembered strange cars cruising our streets at night. Boulder police arrived, cordoning off the area. Neighbors shared stories. Mrs. Larson had been harassed over a non-compliant mailbox, and Mr. Evans was targeted for fake fencing violations. Sarah and Laura worked in sync, taking notes. I stood there, heart racing, as my wife's secret life spilled onto our lawn. Then Agent Sullivan, another CIA contact, approached. Anything unusual lately? Odd cars. Visitors. I mentioned a van near the community park, No plates, that sped off when I got close. Sullivan nodded, taking a call. A beeping came from the fake SUV. An agent found a device under the seat, a blinking GPS tracker with an odd circuit, possibly a bomb or just a tracker. Clear the area, he shouted. Neighbors scattered. It was only a tracker, but Bennett and Clark looked terrified, claiming they knew nothing. Sarah pressed them. Why this neighborhood? Who's behind this? Clark hesitated. We were hired. It's just a job. Someone bigger was pulling strings in Willow Creek. Sullivan whispered to Sarah, her face tightening. She turned to me. I have to go to a secure facility. This is bigger than we thought. They suspected a gang targeting federal employees. My stomach dropped. Sarah was whisked away in a government car. Laura stayed to manage the scene, assuring me Sarah would return soon. Willow Creek buzzed. News vans, yellow tape, and reporters covered the CIA operative nabbed by fake HOA cops. Federal surveillance tracked unmarked vehicles and drones. I couldn't reach Sarah, her phone was off. I kept busy with work and volunteering, haunted by worry. A week later, a secure line rang. It was Sarah, tired but resolute. I'm safe. We uncovered a massive ring. They were stealing data on government workers, staging fake violations in suburbs to bug homes and sell intel on the dark web. They targeted me because of my overseas work. I asked, are we in danger? Her pause was heavy. The ringleaders are still out there. They might retaliate. I felt fear, but also pride in me. Pie-baking wife was dismantling a criminal network. Days later, Laura arrived with an encrypted laptop showing a live feed. Entry teams in position, an agent said. It was a takedown in Omaha, Nebraska, at a remote storage facility. Sarah had led the unit. Shouts, footsteps, and muffled gunfire crackled through. My heart stopped. Laura mouthed, she's okay. Sarah's voice came through. Target secure. Stolen data, hardware, suspects apprehended. No casualties. Laura smiled. It's over. Sarah returned 2 days later, slipping back into our quiet life. The chaos faded, and Willow Creek settled into its suburban rhythm. Bennett, Clark, and their associates faced federal charges: impersonation, kidnapping, conspiracy, espionage. Denied bail, their fake badges symbolized their downfall. The real HOA confirmed no such officers existed, and Boulder police ensured no more scams emerged. Neighbors sighed in relief. Sarah and I followed the news closely. Rumors tied the ringleaders to an international syndicate. The FBI expanded the case to Portland, and Sarah, after sharing her intel, stepped back. The crisis bonded Willow Creek. We added locks, shared watch schedules, and grew closer. Ethan turned his live stream into a safety tips channel. We'd learned threats could hide behind HOA complaints, but our community's strength and Sarah's courage triumphed. Willow Creek emerged tougher, more vigilant, a testament to facing danger together.